Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of I was about to say the wrong podcast name there. Yeah, boy. The Media Man YouTube channel. We're doing a podcast. The episode, you probably heard that little chuckle there. Gives away he's not even my guest, he's my co host, co creator, thingamajiggy me guy, best friend dude, Tim. Today, we're doing another joint episode. As you've seen the title already, it's about this big thing with Netflix buying Warner Brothers and all of that jazz. So we're going to get into it. But first of all, how are you doing, Tim?
Hello, I'm all right, thanks. I'm alive, which is always a good start to it's a good bit of the day. Doesn't have to be the start, could be the middle or the end. If you're not alive, that's not so great.
Indeed, that's small things we have to be thankful for. Constantly remembering that we are living and breathing, unless you believe it's a simulation, which it's not. But anyway, to each their own. To each their own. We're just gonna jump straight into it. We've already, well, Tim more than me, but we've already covered a few Warner Brothers IPs, franchises, properties, and all that stuff on this channel. And if you haven't already been able to tell, we are fans of things that come from that particular company, Batman, Superman, DC Comics, other stuff that we'll get into as well. But we're just going to jump straight into it. We're going to just kind of go straight into what we think about what's happening right now. It's kind of a big deal. Crazy amounts of money being thrown around. I think they said something like 80 plus billion from Netflix. And yet they're still charging. So every year the price goes up and they got all this money to be thrown at Warner Brothers to buy them. It's literally because people keep. Anyway, let's not go into that. Let's jump to the first question. So I pose this to you, Tim, then I'll answer. What are your initial thoughts on this deal of Netflix buying Warner Brothers?
To be honest, it's funny because I've seen other people say, "Oh, it's terrible, it's the worst thing ever." I don't think Netflix, as much as people are like, "Oh no," because they're a streaming company. I don't think Netflix are going to be like, "Oh, do you know what would be really good? Let's put all of the new theatrical releases on streaming." I don't think they're that stupid to be like, "Oh, we've got a new," let's say, for example, the Batman Part 2, or I don't know, a Godzilla film, or, we don't watch it, but like Harry Potter, stuff like that. And be like, "Oh, we've got this brand new film, let's slap it on streaming." That's what
Mm,
everyone wants. Because you also get less money on streaming as
mm.
well, unless they're going to do what Disney tried to do for that hot minute where they're like, "Oh, it's £20 just to view this film," and people are like, "Yeah,
2 weeks in advance, brother. Just wait 2 weeks. We talking about?
exactly."
Yes.
So I, in terms of my thoughts on it, I think that is an interesting deal. I would have wanted to see Paramount get the rights only because I'm biased because Paramount have the rights for like G.I. Joe and Transformers,
Mm,
and it would. But people say that's a bad thing, Paramount getting it, but they're happier Netflix is getting it. But yeah, anyways. So my thoughts are, to be honest, I don't really know what it means. So when I
mm,
say that, I don't really. People are making assumptions of things that they don't know. I'm sure that Warner Brothers are selling themselves and not being sold by force by like a government agency or something. So
mm,
Warner Brothers are most likely going to want assurances. And
mm,
apparently I've heard they have contracts with certain studios to make sure their films are released theatrically.
mm,
So, and we keep saying theatrically as if like, everyone understands. That basically just means, if you don't understand, it means just in the cinemas.
mm,
So, and if Netflix were to just do it to streaming, I think, without being overly dramatic, cinema. So I'm not just talking about cinema would be on the way out
mm,
because it would decimate cinema because WB has a lot of big properties, and I think it would affect. Imagine a Godzilla film going straight to streaming. That would
mm,
be crazy. That wouldn't be good. That's why I would like to believe, and maybe it's been me being optimistic, that Netflix, I don't think it's going to be too much different from WB, to be honest. As much as people are like, "Oh no, this is revolutionary," I don't think it will be too. much different. I think they'll just be like, "Oh, we just own it now," and that's it.
Hmm. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, we don't know. I don't. It's not that I'm not optimistic. It's just I don't trust Netflix
Mm,
with much, if I'm being completely honest. They've done a few things quite well. I think introducing a larger audience to stuff like anime and the whole Studio Ghibli deal of having like all of their films effectively archived on Netflix is quite good. I think for customers, this is potentially really bad. The only reason I say that is because if HBO Max is, absorbed into Netflix, Netflix isn't going to let customers spend the same amount of money for essentially getting two large libraries of content now through one service. They're going to put the price up because they're like, oh, but now you're getting all of this HBO Max stuff. So, like, give us more money.
mm,
And it's kind of like that's not really fair considering Netflix keeps going up year after year and the content isn't reflecting that. That being said, I think HBO, well, Warner Brothers essentially does have a very good library that would be a boon to Netflix's streaming service. Um, some of the good IPs that Warner Brothers has, like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, and the DC universe. Not when I say DC universe, I don't mean James Gunn's DCU. I mean DC Comics universe. So that's Justice League, Justice League Unlimited, the Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go is just a bit too crazy for me. It needs to like calm down. But it's okay. The episodes I've seen that it was funny, but Teen Titans original OG show absolutely blows out the wall. I don't know why they did that to it, but anyway, we won't go into that. And then there are other cool IPs that Warner Brothers are connected to as well, which I think would be great to have onto Netflix. But I just think, yeah, for people who have access to HBO and HBO, I think they just called it Max after a while. They cut the HBO part of the name, but it would be frustrating for them because it's like, oh, now this service is gone because Netflix isn't going to have two services running in conjunction with. They're not going to have themselves basically cannibalizing themselves by doing that. They're going to just absorb it like Sony did when they bought Crunchyroll first, and then they bought Funimation, and then they combined the two, and Funimation, the whole app just died. They just absorbed everything into Crunchyroll. And even now, some of the stuff that was on Funimation still hasn't transitioned over to Crunchyroll yet, which is annoying because you've got this entire library of anime that was on Funimation that's not entirely available on Crunchyroll yet, and it's been like a year now, which isn't good. But yeah, we won't go into any more of that. But okay, so you're thinking it could be worse, but we want to stay cautiously optimistic, you'd say?
I just WB, I think, have been their own worst enemy anyway. Like
I
I
don't
say
think that's
this,
even up for debate. That's just an irrefutable fact, I think.
and then it's easy for me to say, and I don't want to say it, and it gets worse. But you can't really do much worse than WB on a
You
lot of their
say
properties.
that you shouldn't give them that challenge, bro. They'll be
They're
like,
like,
listen, I'm challenge accepted, bro. Let's go back to mash up back to end this man's whole career. Just oh no, oh no. Sorry, you were saying.
yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Like, if it was a different studio, I probably would maybe be a bit more concerned. But
Yeah.
WB, for a few years they were allergic to making a substantial amount of money. Then now, the only thing that seems to have come out of WB is remakes of stuff, or they're trying to sort of like reboots or side quests in a way of different things. And then DC, they don't seem to be doing too much more, because I looked up some of their big IPs, and it's a lot of stuff that is from the past that either, unless they do a reboot of, or other things like, for example, Friends, The Big Bang Theory are things that, according to my search, are in their IP.
Mm-hmm.
So those sort of things, Godzilla. I know they're doing a reboot of like the Harry Potter. I think Amazon has the rights for the. They've been doing it for the Lord of the Rings spin-off TV show thing, and then we obviously know the DC universe. But other than that, there's not a lot of things that are screaming out to me like, oh, we're looking after this new franchise or this revitalized franchise.
Mm. Okay. With that said, then, oh, and quick note to any listeners: if you hear us jumping in and out a little bit, it's the internet, and we're trying to record over the internet itself. So if we jump and cut out a little bit, for apologies, but we can't control that. Anyway,
Netflix got to us.
true. Gee, the infinite money mashed up the thing, mashed up. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. Um, so that was a nice kind of segue into my second question. Then, so do you think that Netflix should really do with some of WB's IPs? They've got a lot of them, as we already know. But maybe some of the ones that like, or ones that kind of resonate with you. What would you say that they should do with a few of them? It doesn't have to be every single one, but just like some of your personal picks.
Godzilla's the franchise, in my opinion. A lot of people apparently like it. I stopped sort of watching them because it's got a bit silly. I liked how they were doing it at the beginning of Legendary, and apparently the I forgot what it's called, but basically they got the Monsters TV show, and it is like a sort of spin-off of the Godzilla films, and I think they should focus more on that, make it more grounded again. It started to get silly because there was a big difference between one film and then the next. It felt like we had advanced 1,000 years in a span of 20 years. And I was like, this is just great. This is just crazy. The films felt like completely different universes, and it's a bit jarring. And now I get it because I'm like, oh guys, we need to take it seriously. This radioactive lizard fighting this giant hairy gorilla. We need to get serious about it, guys. Come on. Which is a bit silly of me to say, but I'm a silly kind of guy. So I think, maybe, if they're gonna do it, somehow have your cake and eat it. Have ones that are a bit more light-hearted, but have ones that are a bit more interesting. Because that's why people like the Godzilla -1. People loved it. It wasn't like, oh, goofy, and then it's weird for people to be like, oh, this is really great. Why don't we have anything like it? Yeah, we did. We had the first Godzilla, and I thought my favorite one actually is King of Monsters. It had a nice mixture of, you actually saw Godzilla more of it, and the music and all of that. Anyways, so that's what the Dune franchise, I forgot, sorry, when I was saying before about their franchise, that's doing quite well. But they're losing the director. I believe he's going to be doing James Bond. So I don't know if he's doing the third Dune film. I think he might be doing that and then leaving. So the Dune franchise is sort of up there. The DC franchise, I think, is a big thing. I think that's what a lot of people on YouTube will talk about because they are into that. They have a real opportunity to I'm laughing because I know this is divisive. They just basically should do two universes. Do their one with James Gunn and all of them lot, and let Zack Snyder finish his vision. Whether it's animated or something like that, they just need to do it. Because I don't know if they can do it live action, because literally, if you think Batman vs Superman was 2016, and next year it's 2026. It's 10 years since BVS. So, and an original Justice League, I think, came out in 2017, I think. So, and that's Snyder's Justice League is basically just the same. It's the whole thing. That's when it was filmed. So we're thinking of a franchise that's basically no one's filmed any roles in it. Actually, that's a lie. because they did the Flash and stuff, but that was only good for Supergirl. But yeah. And to be honest, what I would do if I was Netflix, if they're like, okay, we need to hire people who actually have a passion for the project and don't just have a one-track mind, because I've heard that Absolute Comics from DC are doing well. And the reason why people like things like Absolute Comics and when the Injustice comics came out is because it's different, but also as well, it's good different. It's not just like, oh, we're just trying to be different. It's like, what are you trying to say whilst being different? And I think a lot of people, as much as people say they like the new version of Super, I have a prediction that eventually people will get tired of it.
They will.
Because they're able to say that now because they're just anti Zack Snyder and all of the things that came out recently. But you can tell, I think it's just going to be very short-sighted. So as much as they're like, yeah, let James Gunn do his thing, James Gunn, I think, is good when he's in a box or he has a direct path to go in. When he's all over the shop, I wouldn't trust him to run a universe, to be honest. Or if he is, he needs to have someone who isn't like, oh, we basically think the same thing. Obviously, you don't want to have two people with completely different ideas, but I think the James Gunn train with DC will run it to ruin eventually. It will run out of steam. And what people don't understand is, oh, but James Gunn's really... It's not saying James Gunn's films are going to be absolute rubbish. I just think that there'll be more people who will eventually get tired of it. And that's the point. If you want films that bring people to the cinema, but again, that also depends what Netflix are going to do. Because they might be like, well, that doesn't matter. We'll just get streaming. We'll just do James Gunn's things for streaming, even though I know he said recently that he would like it for cinema. So, yeah, that's what I would do in regard to that. Lord of the Rings, Amazon's doing something. I don't know if they can do any of that. They'll probably have it on Netflix, but I don't know what. Apart from adding to the price, it doesn't do that much. So I think what I would do if I was Netflix, they're going to have to really either go into old franchises and redo them, or they're going to have to sort of create or reboot something, or they're going to have to create new franchises, because getting a lot of these things, putting it on Netflix, all they're going to be able to do is increase the price of Netflix. They're not going to be able to do too much financially from it in terms of gain. So like Mad Max, The Matrix, I don't know what on earth they'd do with that. Apparently you'd need someone who is very creative to revitalize The Matrix. Blade Runner, they should just really just get the same director back, but he's the one, as I said, he's doing Dune, and then now he's going to be doing James Bond. So if I'm correct, Bonnie and Clyde, they could do a film about that. The Minecraft movie, they got a second one of that coming out. The Lego movie, I think the third one, they did 1 and 2, and then it sort of died out. Barbie, you could do a sequel there. Godzilla, and then they got other like horror films. Willy Wonka, Looney Tunes, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, so those are the main sort of things. So they're just going to have to invest in a lot of creative people, but not Hollywood creative or actual creative. And it might take a bit of time. You need to invest in people like Matt Reeves. How with the Batman, they took ages, and then it finally came out. And now we've waited 5 million years for the sequel. And the sequel better be the best sequel I've seen since sequel. But that's a very big tangent. But anyways, what do you think they should do? What do you want to see?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't even want to just sound like I'm just being like grumpy old guy, but it's just I've already kind of said it, but I don't really trust Netflix to do anything smart. So even though what you've said, I agree with. They are well known for cancelling things that are good, that people like, that are creative, that are unique, and renewing garbage constantly, or making these shows that nobody cares about or no one likes and pushing it to the moon, or one show that's like random that people liked, they'll just be like, okay, we're gonna churn out 7 seasons of this, and then they'll be like, yeah, but there was this other show that you made that people liked, and they're like, yeah, anyway, so we're gonna cancel that before we've even finished the first season. What I would like them to do is continue on with some of the DC ideas, but maybe expand it more. Like you said, maybe doing something like splitting the universe and really pushing this multiverse thing and having the crossovers and all that kind of cool stuff. If I'm honest, I don't see Netflix going back to Snyder and letting him finish, only because it will take time and money, and it will potentially be difficult logistics wise. But if they did an animated Snyderverse, I think that would be really good. A really good way to kind of make that happen. I know he did an animated series on Netflix, and some people liked it. I think it was like a Norse mythology thing or something, and people said it was quite good. So maybe let him do that. That would be quite nice. At least let him to finish a story type thing. I think maybe investing into the DC animated universe would be quite good as well. And I don't mean Creature Commandos. I mean like the OG DC animated universe. So like Justice League Unlimited, give Wonder Woman her cartoon now. This is ridiculous. Just let her have it. You took away her game. You might as well give her a cartoon. But yeah, if they're also gonna own Warner Brothers game studios, that would be really cool if they resurrected that Wonder Woman game. There could be a chance there. It probably isn't going to happen, let's be honest. That's like wishing for Half-Life 3 to come out. For gamers who know games, you understand that reference. But we dreamed that Shenmue 3 would come out, and that was when Dreamcast had been cancelled. Well, Sega stopped making consoles, and Shenmue 3 did come out like 20 years later. So hey, dreams can come true, like that song Gabrielle sang. I don't know. I think maybe doing new things would be nice, because it's good to have, a deep library. Like you said, Godzilla, I think would be quite good. It's very strange, I find, how the Japanese Godzilla films are treated with this reverence, but that's because the character is treated with reverence in the films. Where it's like, oh my days, Godzilla, like, wow, this is like big man, super nuclear lizard monster thing. And it's like, this is terrifying. But you're also like, wow, when he starts coming, or it starts coming and mashing up the thing, you're like, oh my days, wow. But in like you said, later Godzilla Western films, it becomes almost comedic, where it's like, oh, they're wrestling like WWE, like having wrestling matches with King Kong, or King Kong should have been absolutely eviscerated by the the toxic nuclear breath. It's like, nah. I got plot armor for that. Stoop! That I'm not gonna touch, man. Don't touch me. You can't see me at John Cena. But anyway, I think it would be quite cool to maybe take some time and really think about those IPs. Matrix, if I'm honest, cancel that, but dash that in the bin. Matrix is cooked now. They should have. 3 was enough. They tried to do this new one and it was absolute garbage. It's time to know when to stop. Let's stop.
I never
Make
watched
something. That. Don't. I watched 5 seconds. I was like, this is garbage, bro. Absolute garbage. Anyway, let's not talk about that. It's okay to let things end and then make something new. Do something new, and let it. The most important thing I think Netflix need to do with WB in general is give it time to breathe and to be organically grown. Netflix is known for rush. They want to rush success. If something's not a super viral ultimate hit in 2 seconds, they just cancel the show. Or they're just like, oh, well, whatever, nobody cares. Let's move into the next thing. That's not going to work with something like this. They need to take time. So hopefully they do that. Me, I'm more optimistic and I want to see more about... Actually, wait. This kind of goes into the third question. So I'm just going to go into it. The third question was, does anything about this deal excite you and you or me? I'll just quickly answer it. I think what excites me is the possibility and how many possibilities there are. You know, if they Netflix said they want to try and start getting into gaming or game studio stuff, they could resurrect a lot of Warner Brothers studios that like Monolith that were making the Wonder Woman game. They could bring that back. Um, they could even make Rocksteady like good again if they really really focused on it. Make an Injustice 3 game, even make an animated series of Injustice would be quite cool. In the vein of the old school Justice League cartoons, that would be really really awesome. And what excites me is the potential of having more of DC's library available on Netflix, which would be quite cool. Even though they've got the animated Batman the animated series, I think they had Justice League on there. I don't know if it's still there, but it was there, I think. And like if they start having the animated films, that'd be really cool. But in terms of the gaming thing, I think forget Batman. Stop making all these Batman games. Let's give Superman a game now. Let's give Wonder Woman her game back. Let's make a Green Lantern game because why not? You know, we can
I
do
think I
that
need
now.
more Batman. There's not enough Batman games, clearly.
I don't think there are, but we could at least have at least 10 more, 100%. In the next 4 years, at least have six more Batman games, 100%. Maybe do something really crazy. It would take ages to develop. It probably wouldn't actually. You know, they can just use AI now. Ha! Don't use AI. Please don't. But they could probably. What would be cool if they made an absolute universe game? Um,
Mm.
that would be really cool. And if you really want to go crazy with like making it multimedia, you can cross that between the game and then also have an animated series that runs uh, in conjunction with it or parallel to it. That would be quite unique, quite different. I think stuff like that is what would be exciting. Doing things that are more crossing the lines between one type of medium to another because they have the means to do that now. So yeah, that would be quite cool. I think those are the things that excite me potentially. Seeing more obscure things perhaps rebooted or brought back, and then also having unlocking a library of content that might have been lost or hidden away otherwise. Yeah. What about you?
What I would like to see is the the Snyderverse thing on animated. That would be good. And I don't want to see like naff animation. It would be nice to see a good quality animation. I would like to see focus on the games as well. Like you said, I think they would make money if they made a good Superman game, a good Flash game. Even though I don't really play much of it, but there's the other franchises they have as well. If you made instead of doing another film, why don't you do, or if you want to do a TV show, or yeah, a TV show or a game of for the Matrix? Why don't you focus on doing something like that? Or there's other things as well. I'm sure they've milked franchises like Friends and The Big Bang Theory for all the merchandise that they can. So there's not really much more else they can do. They could probably do an exclusive reunion, but not like an actual episode. But they're like, oh, let's have a sit down and talk about the Big Bang and how it was good that we did it. They could do something like that with the other franchises as well. I think they could just, because I don't know if I'm correct, but I remember hearing something like Netflix were planning to do games at one point.
They are.
So,
They are doing them. They've done some games on through the streaming service itself, and you can play
mm,
them either on mobile or through your TV.
mm,
Quite cool. Yeah, I think they helped make a few games that were kind of almost finished but not quite. They've helped out a few developers, indie developers, finish some stuff, and then they've also tried to make some exclusive stuff themselves as well. So yeah, yeah.
yeah, they
Mm.
should do stuff like that, and they should do like their own version of Smash Bros. I know they tried to do, no, WB tried to do something, but imagine if they have all the IP of, they could do people like, I don't know, Big Bang Theory characters in there. I think Scooby Doo's under WB. You got
Yeah, Shaggy was in the
DC,
game.
you got all these other different franchises and characters that you can do, Matrix and stuff like that. Do that. and then you can, I don't know, since apparently Microsoft are packing it in with a console, you could maybe try your hand at a console in a few years if you're feeling fortunate. Um, or if not, just do other exclusives. What I would do, well, it depends if Microsoft are doing something. You spice things up. You're like, okay, certain games are exclusive to PlayStation. Why don't you do certain ones exclusive to Xbox or something like? Or yeah, just do things that are different. Don't just do the same. Like you said, oh, let's do more Batman games and let's try and somehow do another Matrix film, and then we're gonna do more Batman films, and we're just gonna continue how it is. Because as much as it might be okay and profitable, I think you have to start thinking long term and then whether it's sustainable or not. That doesn't just mean, oh, what can we do in the short term to be good and fun and perky? You need to do things that are going to be interesting because that's what keeps people engaged and keeps people coming. If things are predictable, as much as unless the issue with doing things that are predictable only, you have to really outdo yourself every single time, which
Hmm.
becomes unsustainable at a certain point. So if you just do things that are unexpected or different, for example, the Superman game doesn't have to be the best game that people have ever seen, but it has to. If it's a good enough game, people will be happy. But the next Batman game has to now top all the other Batman games that have come out, which
True.
is very hard to do. Same thing, with the Flash, or if they did a good Matrix game. Imagine if you could make your own character and basically you have to play in the game like that. That would be really interesting. Then you're like, oh, I'm in a simulation, blah, blah, blah. So all those different things I think would be quite interesting if they could try that. I think you could have your cake and eat it too, where you finish the Zack Snyder stuff for the DC things, and they really need to do what the plan was for Wonder Woman, where the game would have this Nemesis system thing. I've only heard it.
Yeah, Netflix needs to unlock that. Please,
It's like an urban legend.
please fix
I, I,
that.
they need to use this Nemesis system in a game and just, yeah, like a Green Lanterns game. Anyways, it's not just
To
DC,
be
they've
honest,
got
you're
other
right. The most
franchises
important
as
thing
well.
is getting hold of that Nemesis engine and please just make this Wonder Woman game already, man. Like, oh my days. Then you could have like make a Green Lantern game a little bit like that. No, what's it called again? No Man's. I've forgotten the name of the game, but it's that space like procedural generated game. Like you've got all these like almost infinite space that you can travel through and explore and stuff. Maybe like a Green Lantern game that's kind of like that to give it real
Mm,
big sense of scale. And it's like, oh, you're going to this planet and you're doing this and you're doing this thing and make your own Green Lantern. You don't have to play as one of the ones from the comics, whatever, but you can maybe come into contact with them. That would be cool. Like, oh,
mm,
it's your first rookie year as a Green Lantern and you've got to learn from these ones and you can pick a mentor as maybe Hal Jordan or John Stewart or something, and you're like, oh, this is really cool because it's like you said, it's different. But yeah, those kind of possibilities excite me. But Netflix being Netflix, I instantly have to douse my hopes with all the water. But yeah, I hope a man can dream.
mm. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see
Mm,
what they do. I yeah, that's all I can say. It'll be interesting to see what they actually do. They come up
fair.
with it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, I think that's a really nice way to kind of close it off. Really. Um, in a nutshell, me and Tim are looking somewhat tentatively or cautiously forward to what potentially could happen here. We have some big aspirations or big dreams, as you could probably hear. Some things I think are a little bit more tempered and a little bit more reasonable. But ultimately, we just want them to treat these IPs with respect, dignity, and try to honor them in the best ways possible. Not just abuse the power that they now have because they've got the rights to all of these really amazing and creative things. Um, Take time to actually honor them and use them appropriately, and people will love it. It's as simple as that. If you make it cool, and you make it nice, people are gonna say, "I take more. I'll take that twice." Had to finish it on a rhyme. Um, thank you for clicking on the video. I can't say more than that because YouTube's algorithm AI thing will be like, listen, you're trying to promote the video, gotta cancel your whole channel, bro. So we're not gonna say that. But thank you for clicking on another one of our videos, listening to both of us this time ramble, rant, and rave. And maybe there were some interesting words in there too. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments as well. Like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff, and we will catch you on the next video. Thanks.
Doodle.